Last time out, Cy Bowen absolutely dominated the SNHL Division I field, and now we return to Guntersville, Alabama for Season 8, a new look on the U1 and 23 challengers looking to take that number off the side of the boat. Will it happen? Well, it gets started right here with 3 heats in Guntersville. The Digital Roostertails presents SNHL Division I Southern Cup starts right now. Hello everyone, my name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., the voice of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League, joining you on a special Sunday afternoon tilt as we get ready to go racing in season number 8. Got a lot to talk about, a lot of rule changes, a lot of adjustments, and a brand new format that you're going to see in just a moment. Heat 1A is just moments away, so sit tight and we'll get through all of the newness on the other side of this very brief break. So, I want to welcome everyone back here to the Saturday Night Hydroplane League YouTube channel to get ready for round 1 of Season 8. And as I said, this year is the Digital Roostertails presents SNHL. To honor a good friend of ours and a wonder in the world of hydroplane photography, and that is Chris Denslow, who we tragically lost after a short battle with an illness over the summer. Denslow was a fixture at inboard and H1 unlimited races every summer, taking photos that we have all enjoyed over the last few years. Some of these boats will have a sticker on the side dedicated to Denslow, and this year, to honor him, this race or this series and the race at the Tri-Cities will also be named for Digital Roostertails. And as we get ready for Heat 1, as I said at the beginning, some new changes for 2025. First, we will see the Consolation Heat return to the Saturday Night Hydroplane League with some changes to clamp down on some of the over-aggressive racing that we saw in the Connies over the last few years. There will be points on offer. The driver that wins the Consolation Heat will still go to be the trailer boat in the final. Second place will get 53 points. Third, 40. Fourth, 30. Fifth, 23. And sixth, 17 points. That's to hopefully cut down on some of the hard driving because there are points on offer in these heats. So Heat 1A is pushing off from the dock, and as you can see, only 4 minutes on the clock this year. So we'll have 4 minutes on the clock instead of the usual 5 because we have gone to assigned lanes in the Saturday Night Hydroplane League. I'll quickly get you the order and where the lanes are, and we'll talk about more of that after this heat runs. This first flight of heats determined by qualifying. Currently looking at Craig Melody. Craig in the U95 Jack Daniels qualified in the 16th spot, 161.126 miles per hour, so he will be in lane number 5. Tyler Sams in the 00 Bush Apple will be in lane number 3 after our 10th place qualifying effort, 162.355. Harley Gray in the Dream Warrior will be in lane number 2 after qualifying 9th, 162.367. And Callum Washburn in the U44 Washburn 3D race boats will be in lane 4 after qualifying 14th at a 161.478 miles per hour. And Derek Demers, one of our D2 graduates, will be in lane number 1, qualifying in the 8th spot at 162.613 miles per hour. So in an effort to cut down on the milling penalties, we've gone to this format. The first 2 flights will be determined by your qualifying effort, fastest boats on the inside. On the second heat, fastest boats on the outside. In the third heat, it depends on your night, with the boats with the least amount of points on the inside and the boats with the most amount of points on the outside. Many of you may recognize that format from HRL, which we've borrowed here for the Serenite Hydroplane League as we get ready for the first run of the season. And this is always the exciting time, the trivia answer heat of who wins, and this is a great tone setter for the rest of the night and the rest of the season. 400 points here can be big in keeping yourself in Division 1 or taking that U1 off of Cy Bowen, who we'll see later on tonight, or this afternoon rather. Who will have that opportunity, we'll see in a moment as the Wave Dancer is making its way up towards turn number 2. Harley Gray already situated in his lane. Craig Melody's going to go from the outside here to make his run. As another new wrinkle this season, there is no score-up buoy, so the drivers will have a lot more strategy, or yeah, you can say drivers, so have a lot more in terms of strategy options in making a run at this. You can do the H1 style that we saw over the summer of getting a flyer at it. The park and start obviously still popular here in the SNHL, and that seems to be what everyone's going with right now, but we will see that strategy develop as we continue through the season, as Derek Demers and Harley Gray are the first 2 up here early. There's Callum Washburn on the outside, Tyler Sams in the back trying to make a run. Let's turn him loose for the first time this season, and Derek Demers is all alone heading to the start at 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. It's a good start, and Derek Demers blows everyone away. He was the only one to get there on time, and the start is legal. So we will continue as they run with Demers in the Wave Dancer leading the way, Harley Gray second in the Dream Warrior, Tyler Sams third in the Bush Apple, fourth Callum Washburn, fifth Craig Melody. And they head down towards turn number 2 for the first time of 3. Demers absolutely treed that start and really crept up there to the entrance pin of turn number 2, had no one around him. Harley Gray finally got on the pedal, and these drivers are going to have a lot of time to learn this, but without the score up as we start lap number 2 with Demers leading, it's going to be on you on getting to the line to start this race. And a lot of drivers, it might be assigned lanes, but if you're caught napping on the start and you're in the inside lane, you could be in trouble. This time though, Derek Demers was in lane 1, got a great start, and he's consolidated as we start lap number 2 up the backstretch. Demers continues to lead in the Wave Dancer. Second is Harley Gray there on the back of your screen in the Dream Warrior turbine version for this year for Harley Gray after years of running the piston power in that U29. Tyler Sams holding down the 3rd spot in the 00 Bush Apple, that beautiful candy red Bush Apple colored turbine, which right now is in my early going for scheme of the year. It's Callum Washburn there back there in 4th, and Craig Melody in 5th. So we're on the final lap. Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer continuing to lead the way, and he has got that distance out to a couple of seconds. But a Roostertail and a 3rd over Harley Gray as we're in a boat parade here for the first race of the night, or the afternoon. We'll say afternoon since it is Sunday afternoon here. And Demers, graduating from D2, trying to make a statement here in heat number 1. The Wave Dancer leading them all to turn number 2, where 400 points are awaiting. All he's got to do is keep it off the buoy, keep that left foot measured, and Demers is going to walk away with our first heat win of the year. So off turn 2, he's put a couple more boat lanes down on Harley Gray, and it's going to be Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer coming down the front straightaway, looking for the checkered flag, and 400 points in the win in Heat 1A. Harley Gray is going to come across in second. Third is going to be Tyler Sams in the Bush Apple. Behind him, Cal Washburn in the Washburn 3D Race Boats. And Craig Melody will open his accounts with 127 points and 5th. So no penalties, clean heat. We'll just get a check with the officials. And if there are no calls, we will hear from Derek Demers. And Mickey Washburn declares this a clean heat. So there are your results on the right side of your picture. Derek Demers picks up a 3-second win to open up accounts in 2025-2026. And we will talk to him in a moment as we are underway now in the Southern Cup. First heat of the Southern Cup, first heat of the season is underway, and Derek Demers made that look easy in the Wave Dancer, the winner of Heat 1A. Derek, first time out with this new assigned heats format, and looks like you got your timing marks all right.
Yeah, I took them this week, and I hit it right on where I needed, and it went well.
So heading into the second flight, you'll be on the outside. Any changes you might have planned, given you'll be probably on the outside due to your qualifying?
Yeah, I don't think I will change anything. Didn't take as much timing run on the outside, but I'll try to maybe add some couple seconds, and we'll be good, I think.
All right, Derek, congratulations and good luck in the second flight of heats, and hopefully we'll be talking to you a lot more this afternoon and this season. Congratulations.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you, Daryl.
Heat 1B coming up next. Next 5 getting onto the dock, and we'll be back for the race right after this. So D2 graduate strikes first in Season 8, and we've been seeing that a lot where the D2 graduates up from Division 2 into Division 1 have not been slouches. Cy Bowen last year dominated Division 1. As we are currently in practice, got to switch that over to the race, so let the officials deal with that. But we saw that last year where Cy Bowen came from Division 2, winning the championship, came to Division 1, absolutely dominated. And the speed in Division 2, which I run part-time, is closing in on Division 1, and that's usually what you want to see year over year with this split division model that we have in Division 2. We've got a lot of drivers that have spent time in Division 2. Eldon Sams, who is there, perpetual 6th place, but he has got speed to run in Division 1 if Eldon can finally get off the schneid, and I'm calling it. It is not the commentator's curse. It is the commentator's blessing. In Season 9, Eldon Sams will be a Division 1 driver because he's earned it through his speed, and it will continue to show how Division 2 has evolved over the last few years. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now and get us into Heat 1B, which is starting right now. And on the water, Luke Nelson, who is driving for Carson Kelly today in the U66 Sutter's Gold. Another new rule change here for Season 8 is that we are allowing substitute drivers in Division 1. We don't have enough time to go to the nature of the rule right now, but one of the major changes is that the U1 will go to the boat instead of the driver this year to compensate for us having our substitute drivers. And as Luke, driving as Carson, will be in lane number 1, qualified third at 164.525 miles per hour. Neil Dismang in the U92 Dutch Bros. Next up, he will be in lane number 2, qualified in the 12th spot at a 161.551 miles per hour. Francis Ranella in the Miss Danash 2 is on the water for another year. Second year here in Division 1 for him. Qualified 17th, will be in lane number 4, 160.918 miles per hour. And Scott Garner, the U60A and W Root Beer, back again, qualified in the 13th spot, lane number 3 to 161.502 miles per hour. Scott found himself in a couple of finals last year, has always had some decent speed in Division 1. We'll be watching that. Hopefully Garner will come across the line to get his first win this season. And Jeff DeWalt, the U31 Mopar, beautiful red, white, and blue combination here for Season 8. Qualified in the 18th spot, 160.291. He will be in lane number 5. So those are your qualifiers in Heat 1B. And we'll take a look at how the drivers are doing now. Francis Ranella going to cut the course from back to front with 1:05 to go. Remember, no score up this season. You need to be at the start-finish line at 0. That is the only thing that matters. So drivers are going to have to get on those timing marks, and especially with the 4-minute mill here, you've got time for about one timing run and then getting set, whether you want to start and park or you want to hit the start on the run. You have a little bit of time to get set up for there, but not much time else. Don't really need as much time with the assigned lanes that we have, as we're no longer fighting for lanes. As we're heading into turn 2, getting ready for the start, it's Francis Ranella and Scott Garner that are up here early as the boats are coming through turn number 2. Here comes the faster boats on the inside as they get ready to turn loose for Heat 1B. We're getting ready for the start, and Ranella leading the way. There's Luke Nelson there on the inside. Neil Dismang with him as we're 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, mark! And we're underway in Heat 1B. The start is clean as they head down towards turn number 1. And Luke Nelson in the U66 will have the lead, as Francis Ranella made a good run at it, but he's going to drop down to 3rd as he head through turn number 1. The start was clean, and we head down the backstretch for the first of 3. Boat's going to be a little bit closer this time. We got Neil Dismang there on the outside in the U92 Dutch Bros, about half Roostertail back down the back straightaway for the first time. Luke Nelson, one of the D2 graduates, finally up with Carson Kelly, a good friend of his. He's driving Carson Kelly's boat today, so Kelly will be getting owner's points, but not driver's points, obviously. And Luke Nelson, these points will only count towards this U66, so he will not be double dipping as far as points are concerned as we start lap number 2, with Luke Nelson leading the way in the U66 Sutter's Gold. Neil Dismang second in the U92 Dutch Bros, about a Roostertail and some change back. Neil Dismang there in third. As we head into turn number 1, boat starting to get stretched out again. Nelson leading the way, one of the faster drivers in Division 2 up to Division 1. Has had Division 1 speed for a while, dropped out, I believe came up to Division 1 before, but attendance was the only reason why he dropped out, and now he is back and showing that speed as Division 2 drivers are looking to go 2 for 2 here in the Guntersville Southern Cup here in round number 1 of Season 8 as we start the final lap, heading towards start-finish line. White flag is in the air, and Luke Nelson in the Sutter's Gold, driving for Carson Kelly, takes the white flag one more time around. Neil Dismang second in the Dutch Bros. Third, Francis Ranella in the Miss Danash 2. Fourth is Jeff DeWalt in the U31 Mopar, and Scott Gardner fifth in the U60 A&W Root Beer. Flashing to the backstretch, Luke Nelson, sorry, almost made the mistake for the first time. Luke Nelson already making his way down the backstretch, no one around him, just has to bring this boat around for 400 points, and a great start for that U66 on the year. And ironically, Luke will have a couple of bites of the apple at trying to get into the final tonight with this U66 and his own boat later on tonight. But as we head through turn number 2 and towards start-finish line, it's going to be Luke Nelson, the U66 Sutter's Gold, picking up the win in Heat 1B. Neil Dismang will be second in the Dutch Bros. Francis Zanella third in the U929 Miss Danash. Jeff DeWalt in the U31 Mopar will come across for fourth. And Scott Garner will pick up 5th place points in the U60 A&W Root Beer. So 2 heats and 2 clean heats to wrap up the first half of the first flight. There's your results on the screen on the left side. And we will hear from Luke Nelson in just a moment. And Luke Nelson already knows the routine, wins the race, already up to the announcer's booth. Luke, congratulations. Welcome back, I probably should say, to Division 1. You pick up the win in your good friend Carson's boat. You make it 2 for 2 for Division 2 drivers this afternoon.
Division 1, and just win heat for my buddy Carson. He's racing Manson this weekend, so good luck, Carson.
So you've got your first chance at got your first time at the assigned lanes today. It was a little bit tardy on the start, but you really made it up by the time you got to the start-finish line. Did you practice that timing mark a lot from that far back?
I practiced it once during practice this morning and just wrote it down, and yeah.
So last question before you go, any thought process changes with you don't have the score up anymore? The only thing you have to focus on now is being at the start-finish line when the clock hits 0.
Yeah, but that's a big thing, no score up and assigned lanes. You can just pretty much start from wherever you want on the course and be in your lane, and yeah, you can march from anywhere.
All right, Luke, thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the evening.
All right, thank you.
So Heat 1C coming up next. What are the Commanders doing? So second half of the first flight begins now, and Luke Nelson in the U7 back out on the water. This time, the win will count against his leisure if he picks up the win, and that U7 will be in lane number 2, qualified second at 165.038 miles per hour. And Cy Bowen, the dominant factor in the last 2 years of SNHL championships, the undisputed champion of SNHL going into this season, qualified first at 165.362 miles per hour. New power plant in the brand new painted U1 Corsair. It'll be interesting to see how that turbine powered boat handles as we get ready to run a full season with turbinator power here in the U1, and there's a lot of classic H1 Unlimited hydroplane fans that are going to be happy to see this U1 and see how many races they're going to pick up on the turbines. Tim Johnson in the U50, qualified in the 6th spot, 163.253 miles per hour was his fastest lap. That grants him lane number 3 for this run. And Max Corvo, the U52 Great White Shark, another one of our racers from Division 2, making his way into Division 1. The U52 qualified 11th at a 162.168 miles per hour. He'll be in lane number 4. And wrapping up, Elijah Smith here in the U49, a late addition for the team U49 boat. You can see that boat just got out of primer where they got it down here to Guntersville, qualified in the 15th spot, 161.137 miles per hour. He'll be in lane number 5. So that is your lineup. These drivers have now seen the first half of the fleet go out and make an attempt at this new assigned lanes format. Now it's time. Now it's their turn, and I think you've got to give advantage to Luke Nelson here. He's already been out once, in fact, in the previous heat. And he'll be in a similar lane to where he was last time. Lane number 2 compared to lane number 1. So he already knows this water, already knows this format. There's been a lot of testing in the off season as well. And we did have some preseason testing at the beginning of the year. Some of these drivers here were in attendance. We'll see how that evens out in about 40 seconds as we get ready for the start of Heat 1C. Let's get a look at our field now. Max Corvo, the Great White Shark, in his lane to his inside. He's got the U1. Elijah Smith's going to make a wide lane number 6 as we are ready to start. Heat 1C coming through turn number 2. Luke Nelson is on the pedal. Sidebone was a little bit slow coming through turn number 2. And the twice just as nice for Luke Nelson on that timing mark as we're at 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second mark. And I'm not sure if Luke was on time. That start is going to be under review, we'll call it. As they head through turn number 1, Luke Nelson had the lead, but it's going to be Sidebone that takes it away. Heading down towards turn number 2, down the backstretch for the first time. Also got a battle for third behind there between the U50 and the U52. We'll check the start. Luke Nelson did jump that start. So Luke Nelson is not a factor in this heat. We'll see if a spotter gives him that information. Right now he will stay there in the second spot as Sidebone in the U1 Corsair was there step for step with that U7 on the start and was on the right side of the buoy as we start lap number 2. He is in the lead heading down towards turn number 1. So that means Tim Johnson just got by Maxime Corbeau heading into turn number 2. He's going to have the second spot now as Corbeau there on the outside in about lane number 4. Trying to hold on to that turbine power. Has got the power down the straightaway, but he's going to lose a little bit in the corners as behind them is Elijah Smith in lane number 5 picking up the rear. But back up front, U1 Sidebone. I think we said that about 2-3 dozen times last season, picking up right where he left off, looking for 400 points as we come through turn number 2. That beautiful black and red Corsair boat, turbine, piston, does not matter with Sidebone and that U1. He is fast as we start the final lap of Heat 1C. Corsair leading the way. Second is Luke Nelson. On the water, Luke Nelson is second. Tim Johnson is on the scoring sheet second by virtue of being one of the legal starters. Max Corbeau in third and Elijah Smith in fourth, looking to pick up 169 points, is back up front. Sidebone leads the way in the U1. He's got no one around him, can coast his way through turn number 2 and down the start-finish line to pick up those 400 points for the first time this season. In Division 2, he was dominant. In Division 1 last year, he was dominant. We've got a long way to go in this year's Division 1 action, but Sidebone dominant again, and he'll pick up the win in Heat 1C. Sidebone winner in the U1 Corsair. Luke Nelson comes across as a jump starter. Tim Johnson will be second. Max Corbeau is third in the Great White Shark. Elijah Smith comes across the line to pick up fourth. And fifth, as we said, will be Luke Nelson. So, to the victor goes the spoils for Sidebone, and we'll talk to him next as we are well underway here in the Southern Cup. And Cy Bowen joins us here in the booth. Cy, I think we turned this booth into the Cy Bowen podcast last season with how many races you won in Division 1, and now you start Season 8 right where you left off in Season 7 in first place.
Yeah, hopefully we can continue. We came in about 10 laps of practice from May, so we're going to survive.
So your first time here with the assigned lanes, and looks like you had it down packed. Got help there with Luke Nelson being a little bit early on the start, but it doesn't look like it affected your lines any.
No, being in lane 1, it makes it really easy. Once we're in lane 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I didn't have any timing marks or anything, so went out, got one, and it's kind of simple from lane 1. The rest of the lanes, we'll see how it goes.
Yep, and speaking of which, that second flight, you will be on the outside by virtue of your qualifying time. Any thoughts about your timing marks going into the second flight?
I'll probably just try to hit it with as much speed as possible. I'll probably get a farther back timing mark and see if we can't hit the start finish line at full speed and maybe get some overlap.
All right, well, Cy, congratulations and good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Heat 1D coming up next. Time to close accounts in the first flight. Last opportunity for 400 points. Here are your runners in Heat 1D, and this is their lane assignments. We'll have 4 drivers in this heat. We'll start with Nick Kish, he's on your screen. Nick qualified in the Eastern Eagle, 19th, so he'll be in lane number 3 in the 156.781 miles per hour. He's officially listed as 19th. We'll talk about that on the other side of this. As you have DJ Miller, the U75 DC presents Deft. As for some reason that boat did not download. Actually, DJ is late arriving, so we're going to try to download that boat now. And if it works, it should pop up into color any moment. But while we're doing that, we'll go with Mackay Burgess, the U38 Trolley Sour Bite Crawlers, or the U38 Trolley for short, as we'll call it. DJ Miller, by the way, did not qualify, was late arriving, so he will be in lane number 4. Officially, it's written here lane 6, but we had to change the heat marker, so he's in lane number 4. The U38 will be in lane number 2 after qualifying 7th at 162.743 miles per hour. And in lane number 1 will be Mickey Washburn, the U9 Miss Vandelay. Mickey qualified in the 5th spot at 163.393 miles per hour. And we now have color on DJ Miller. Got that new chrome stripe on the side of the U79. It's good to see that boat back out on the water as we're now 148 to the end. So we do have officially 20 drivers in competition. However, actually we have 19 in competition. But remember, Luke Nelson is technically Carson Kelly. So we've got 18 here and 19 on the sheet. And we actually have Scott Przybylski out here as well, so that makes it 20. As U8 is not drawing the heat, so he will also be on the outside. I say all that to say there's going to be a redraw with some late arrivals here going into the second flight. So the U8 does not have an official qualifying attempt. So he will also be on the outside. We'll go back up to the front stretch. Where the U8's in lane 1, the U38 is in lane 2. And we will be ready for the start as they head into turn number 2. The rest of the field will be there on the outside. In fact, there is DJ Miller on the outside. Nick Kish is going to be in lane number 3. Makes his way around the corner. Scott Przybylski there as well. We are ready for the start. It's going to be a battle between the inside boat and the outside boat. DJ Miller had a lot of speed there on the outside, and he's going to lead him down to the field as we are at 3 seconds. Make that 2 seconds, 1 second mark. That's a clean start, and from lane number 5, we've got DJ Miller in the lead. Now, can he hold it? He's actually up there on lane number 4. Can he hold it through turn number 1? So they get a little tight on the inside there for Mackay Burgess and Nick Kish, but it's going to be the Miss Vandelay that makes her way through turn number 1 with the lead down the backstretch with the U38 in second. Oh, Mackay Burgess almost gets in the skid fin spray. Man, just hold on to it, though. He'll maintain for second, but it'll be a deck-to-deck battle between him and the U79 of DJ Miller heading into turn number 2. Miller going to take the second spot from the trolley as he head into turn 2. Closest race of the evening is for second. Closest race of the afternoon so far is in second with the U75, and that U38. DJ Miller, they're on the outside. Lost a couple of boat lengths going through turn number 2, but he will pick them up down the front straightaway as it continues to be the Miss Vandelay leading the way. Mackay Burgess in the trolley is second. DC Presents Deft is third. The Eastern Eagle and Mr. Pringles round out the field as he head through turn number 2. Now DJ Miller losing out on that outside line is going to lose a couple of more boat lengths to the leader and to Mackay Burgess. They head down the back straightaway. Mickey Washburn, though, seeing all this in his right side mirror, saying, you guys have fun. I'm going to try to get away and get these 400 points as he heads down towards turn number 2 on lap number 2. They're on the inside, though. The U-38, sorry, on the outside, the U-38 holds on to second, but DJ Miller again down the backstretch. Gained about 2 boat lengths, but he's going to lose one exiting turn number 2 as we get ready for the final lap. DJ Miller trying to get second there from the outside. Doesn't have qualifying points, so every point matters as we start the final lap. Mickey Washburn, the U9, is first. We stay with the battle for second. You ride along with DJ Miller on the inside, heading towards turn number 2. Sorry, turn number 1. We're going to watch how he gets this speed down the back straightaway. As on the first lap and the second, we saw him close in about 2 boat lengths on the U38 trolley. Now as you ride along, you can see that left leg fluttering, getting that left leg fluttering, getting the canard up out into the air, keeping that boat straight and level. Did not get the run he would have needed this time, so I think he's going to have to settle for those third place points as Mickey Washburn through turn number 2 is going to get the first place points as he heads down towards the start finish line to take the win in Heat 1D. Mickey Washburn, Miss Vandalay, wins. Second, going to be the U38. Third will be the U75. Nick Kish comes across for fourth. And fifth will be the Mr. Pringles of Scott Przybylski. So that is a clean heat. There are your results on the left side of your screen, and we'll hear from Mickey Washburn in just a little bit. So score one for the commish in Heat 1D. Mickey Washburn picks up the win to close out accounts in the first flight of the Southern Cup. Mickey, that was the most competitive heat of the night. You had lane number 1, but DJ Miller there on the outside made it close there in the start and into turn 1.
Yeah, and I got kind of lucky. I thought I was going to dump the boat there at the start line. I got it pretty high, and luckily it came back down, and luckily DJ was pretty far out, so I was able to make up ground on that first turn. Got a little scary, though.
So we talked about this in the board meetings, going to this new format. We've seen it in Division 2. Now you've got a chance to race it. What are your thoughts so far after seeing the first heat?
I think it's going to be great. It was fun being in lane 1. Now I got to go to the outside, so that won't be as much fun, but I think it's going to produce a lot of good racing. It did last night, and at the end of the night last night, there's a lot of close point races after the first heat, or the first race, so I think this is going to be something that we're going to really like, and we'll see what happens here.
So as we get ready for the second flight, I'd be remiss if we did not mention Chris Denslow, a good friend of all of ours, who unfortunately passed away this summer, that we've dedicated this season to.
Yeah, Chris was he was big for all hydroplane racing, not just H1, but he was at everything, every class of boats, RC boats. He raced with us, and he's going to be missed by everybody.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for those kind words to Chris Denslow, and good luck in the second flight.
Thanks, Daryl.
So take a quick break. We're heading into the second flight. We'll get the redraw and have Heat 2A after this. While they draw, I'm gonna go get a snack. E2A, ready to roll. Here are your starters as we start the second flight. We'll have 5 boats in this heat, and we'll continue in the order of 3 heats of 5. And 1 heat of, actually I think we've got all, now we've got 20, it'll be 4 heats of 5 for the rest of the evening. So we'll start with Luke Nelson driving the U66 Sutter's Gold. Luke, in his first race of the night, took the win in lane number 1. He'll now go to lane number 5, virtue of his 3rd place qualifying effort. Tim Johnson, the U50 Miss Tri-Cities, qualified 6th, finished 2nd in Heat 1C. He's also on 400 points, and he'll be running in lane number 4. And the Sutter's Gold is on 560. In his qualifying points. Max Corvo, the U52 Great White Shark, qualified in the 11th spot and finished 3rd in Heat 1C. In Heat 2A, he'll be in lane number 3. Nick Kish will be in lane number 1, qualifying 19th and finished in the 4th spot in Heat 2A. And rounding out the field should be Callan Washburn, who will be in lane number 2. He qualified in the 14th spot, finished 4th in Heat 1A. So now we will see the inverse. We'll have the slower boats on the inside, faster boats on the outside. As we've seen in HRL, this will shake it up here in what I like to call the moving heats, because the guys on the outside, they got to take advantage of those inside heats. Now they got to show what they can do on the outside in the second flight. And that's going to be a big change this season, I see Max Corvo and the Great White Shark heading down towards turn number 1. Is that the driver that can master all the lanes? It's going to be the one that's going to be the most successful. And for those drivers that are slower down the order, they have got to make it worth. They've got to pay off these inside lanes with 400 points as many times as they can get them if they want to play spoiler. As Nick Kish heads into lane number 1, there's the U66. That's Carson Kelly's machine, driven by Luke Nelson. And Max Corvo, they're in lane number 3. Here he comes. He's going to go past Nick Kish. And in the past, we would see that U52 cut over, but with these assigned lanes, it's sitting right there in lane number 3 as we're coming to the start. Nick Kish can lead him around turn number 2. He's in lane number 1. Maxime Corvo in lane number 3. Looking for the rest of the field now as they head towards turn number 2. There's Tim Johnson. He's going to be on the outside there in lane number 4. And it's really a disjointed start. Nick Kish is going to be slow off the start, and that's going to allow Tim Johnson and Luke Nelson to take over the lead as they head down towards the start-finish buoy. We're at 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark, and that's a clean start, and it is Tim Johnson and Luke Nelson leading the way. But look at Maxime Corvo there in lane number 3. He's going to have an advantage going through on the inside as Kevin Washburn there in lane number 2 is going to get close to Maxime Corvo. He's going to stretch it out, straighten it out. He's going to leave lane in there for Nick Kish. And now it's going to be Tim Johnson leading the way on the outside. But watch these boats on the inside. Maxime Corvo, Callum Washburn. They've got the shorter way around. How will they make that advantage up into turn number 2? Meanwhile, on the outside, Luke Nelson's holding tight there to Tim Johnson there in the U50 as they head to turn number 2. Now you'll see those inside boats pick up a few more boat lanes. Head to turn number 2. And it's Callum Washburn moving all the way from 4th to 2nd in one turn, but he couldn't hold on to the speed as he get ready to end lap number 1 with Tim Johnson, U50 Miss Tri-Cities, leading the way in the U66 Sutter's Gold of Luke Nelson in 2nd as we head to turn number 1. Watch that inside now as Maxime Corvo's now moved into 3rd. Maxime's going to get a little bit into that wash of the U50. He holds on to it. Good control by both boats there on the inside. We see the slower boats are struggling a little bit to keep up with the faster boats on the outside. The speed is out there with the U50 and the U66 as Tim Johnson, Mr. Qualifying from his exploits a few seasons ago, is now leading out there from lane number 3 as they head into turn number 2. Johnson leading the way, leaving 2 lanes inside as Corvo and Washburn make contact, and Washburn missed a buoy. That will be under review from the officials. But that's going to put Corvo now in 3rd. He's going to actually look for 2nd over Luke Nelson as we start the final lap of the heat. Tim Johnson, Miss Tri-Cities, leading the way. Luke Nelson, Sutter's Gold, substituting for Carson Kelly, is in 2nd. In 3rd right now is Max Corvo in the Great White Shark, but he's there now in lane number 1. Tim Johnson going to tighten that lane down now as they head through turn number 1. The U52 is going to have position number 2 down the back stretch. As the U50 now pushes outside, keeping that faster boat, the U66 pinned out there in lane, as one driver put it, 50-4 as they head towards turn number 2. As Max Corvo follows back to 3rd a little bit, he will make up a couple of boat lanes, but that battle will be for 2nd as Corvo pulls into 2nd for now, but it's Tim Johnson there on the inside. There in the middle of your picture. He's going to pick up the win here in Heat 2A. He's going to try to hold off the late charge, but it's not going to be enough. Tim Johnson takes the win in Heat 2A. Max Corvo, I think, is going to get 2nd. Actually, he's going to get 3rd. 2nd will go to Luke Nelson. Nick Kish going to come across in 4th. And the 5th spot is going to go to Callum Washburn as he hit a buoy. So Tim Johnson, our first winner from the outside. We'll talk to him in a moment. Looks like the only penalty will be that 1 minute for missing the buoy on the U-44. As we got a boat heading out into space with Luke Nelson, we'll talk with our heat winner, Tim Johnson, in a moment. And Tim Johnson, winner of Heat 2A. You were the test case for Division 1 of the faster boats there on the outside. It looks like you made it work.
Yeah, hitting a good start's really important, and I mean it's a little bit easier now that you got your assigned lane, but had a lot of fast boats right next to me in my ear the whole time, so I was a little nervous, but was able to come away with the win.
Yeah, you made mention that us now with the assigned lanes, a lot of the fighting and shuffling has gone away. How's that changed your mentality when it comes to the milling period now?
Well, it makes it a lot easier to stick with the strategy. You can just worry about your timing marks in the lane that you're assigned, and you know everybody's going to stick to their lane pretty well, so it makes it a lot easier to just hit a good start.
All right, Tim, well, congratulations and good luck the rest of the night.
Appreciate it, Daryl.
Heat 2B coming up next, and I just want to get the rules situated going into the third flight, what we are going to see when it comes to the lanes. Just to make sure I have it right for everyone. So, in Flight 3, as I mentioned, it will be based on your lap, or based on how your night has gone. Drivers with the least amount of points will be on the inside. Most amount of points will be on the outside, and it'll be based on your points for the night. And there could be some upsets if you miss these starts. And we'll see that in the third flight. But right now, we'll take a quick break and get ready for Heat 2B. Heat 2B, ready to roll. 5 more boats heading out onto the water. Here are your lane assignments. And we will, as we show them on the screen, I'll just read off the lane assignments from 1 to 5. In lane number 1 will be the Miss Danash of Francis Ranella in qualified 17th, 160.918 miles per hour. Qualified 17th, finished 3rd in Heat 1B. In lane number 2 will be Scott Garner, the A&W Root Beer, qualified in 13th spot, 161.502 miles per hour, finished last in Heat 1B. In lane number 3 will be the boat on your screen now, Neil Dismang in Dutch Bros Coffee, Qualified in the 12th spot, 161.551 miles per hour. Finished second in Heat 1B. In lane number 4 will be the Miss Vandelay. Mickey Washburn took the win in Heat 1D and qualified in the 5th spot. He's currently on 520 points for the night. And in lane number 5, we Scott Prispilski. Jeff presents Mr. Pringles. Did not qualify, but ran in. Did not have any speed. Ran 5th in Heat 1D. He's on his 127 points for Heat 1D. So here we are, Heat 2B. Slower boats on the inside, faster boats on the outside, and Scott Gardner could be one of those slower boats that could upset a few people heading into the 3rd flight. Scott Gardner may not light up the timesheets, but he is consistent. And consistency is what matters the most when we get into the heats, more than single lap speed. So if he gets a good start, there could be some faster boats that thought they were a shoo-in for 400 points, picking up 300 or 225, depending on what happens there on the inside. There's Neil Dismang as we're now 121 from the start of Heat 2B. I want to thank everyone that is on YouTube joining us for this Sunday afternoon edition of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League. Getting it started nice and early here on Sunday afternoon. It's now down to a minute before the start. So far, been a clean afternoon as far as the officials' room has been concerned. Only one penalty that had to be called, and that was the U44 going inside after hooking in turn number 2. On lap number 2, we saw that on our screen. As now the drivers are getting situated and ready to go. As Francis Trinella, one of our D2 graduates, there on the inside, going to lead them around. Scott Prispilski, the game maker, on the outside. And these guys on the inside are pretty slow. Scott's going to have a lot of speed there on the outside. Miss Vandelay as well out there from lane number 4. But it is going to be Francis Ranella and Scott Garner that make their way around. But here comes Scott Prispilski from lane number 5 with a whole head of steam as we're ready for the start with 5 seconds. Make that 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and that start's going to be under review. I think Scott Prispilski jumped. So your leader is going to be, for now, the Miss Vandelay, but from lane number 2, there goes the U60. It's going to be Scott Garner who leads off the corner. As we make our way down towards turn number 2, he's got the Dutch Bros there to his inside. The Dynasty Danash did not get a good start. Francis Ranello was late, and he will drop back. As we go to timing and scoring, and yes, Scott Prispilski did in fact jump the start, so he is no longer a factor in this race. But meanwhile, Scott Garner, I called it at the beginning, your possible upset here in the 2nd flight. He qualified 13th, but he's got the inside lane number 1, and he is making it work as he is pulling away in that U60 A&W root beer as we start lap number 2. So the A&W root beer is in first. Neil Dismang and Dutch Bros is second, but he's got a challenge on the outside from the U9, the Miss Vandelay, as they head through turn number 1. The Vandelay gets into a little bit of the spray from the U92, kicks out, but manages to hold on to it as Mickey Washburn. That will cost him nothing but a couple of boat lengths as they head down the back straightaway. U60 continues to lead the way. We will stay with this battle for second as the U9 seems to have a little bit more top-end speed on the outside. But again, the Vandelay caught on the outside, so it's going to lose ground through the corners. If Mickey Washburn can get in front of the U92, then he'll control the arc, and he'll be able to pin that U92 as far down as he wants to. As you can see, a great turn from the U9. He's going to get second as we start the final lap as they're deck to deck down the front straightaway as they cross the start-finish line. And it is the U9 currently in second over the U92. Now he'll be able to pin Neil Disbang there into the slump, and he'll do that. As Mickey Washburn leaves a lane in there, though. Disbang handled that well, but he's going to lose 2, make it 2.5 boat lengths down the back straightaway, and that'll put Mickey Washburn in second, as now that top end speed of that Miss Vandalay will eat down the back straightaway, as Mickey Washburn looks like he's going to get 300 points. But Scott Garner absolutely treed that start, and the first upset of the year is going to go to this U60 A&W Root Beer off turn 2 for the final time, and heading to the start finish line to pick up 400 points, and the win in Heat 2B going to be Scott Garner, U60 A&W Root Beer. Mickey Washburn did hold on to second. Neil Dismang is third. Fourth is going to be Scott Przybilski. And you saw flipped upside down there. Francis Ranella, he will end up with a DNF, so no heat points in Heat 2B for Ranella. So Heat 2B is done. And we will hear from Scott Garner on the other side of this short break, as the results will stand. We'll get ready for Heat 2 in just a moment. So, as I said, with the second flight changing up who gets the inside, there's a chance for some upsets. And Scott Garner in the U60 A&W Root Beer, first upset of the season. Scott, you got lane 1, and through virtue of the qualifying order in that heat, and you didn't waste it.
Yeah, I had lane 2, and
Sorry, lane
I
2.
knew I all I had to do was get in the front there in that first turn, and I should be good. And it worked out. I didn't blow my start like I did in the first heat, and it all worked out great, man.
My apologies. Yes, the U929 was in the lane number 1, but the Dynasty to Nash had a late start there. But heading into the third flight, now you pick up your first heat win of the year. That's some pretty good points heading in, getting you a chance to go to another final, depending on how the third flight shakes out.
Yeah, let's see what happens in the third flight. See if this old fart still has it in him, man.
All right, Scott, congratulations and good luck the rest of the night.
All right, take it easy, Daryl. Thank you.
You're welcome. Heat 2C coming up next. Heat 2C ready to go. 5 more out onto the water. Here are your lane assignments for this heat. In lane number 1 will be Craig Melody in the Jack Daniels, the U95. Qualified 15th and finished 5th in Heat 1A. One of our D2 call-ups by virtue of finishing top 5 of the points last year, making his first start in SNHL Division 1. The Bush Apple of Tyler Sams will be in lane number 2. He qualified in the 9th spot at 162.355 miles per hour. And he finished Heat 1A in 3rd and qualified in 9th, so he has 295 points going into this heat. Lane number 3 will be the Lucas Oil Dream Warrior of Harley Gray, qualified in the 8th spot for 80 points, and then finished 2nd in Heat 1A for 380 points currently, as things stand now. In lane number 4 will be the Team U38 of Mackay Burgess. Actually, that's the U38 Trolley, as we'll call it. Qualified 6th at 162.743 miles per hour and finished 2nd in Heat 1D. And rounding out the field in lane number 5 will be our defending champion, Cy Bowen, qualified 1st, finished 1st in Heat 1C. He's on 600 points, and he will be in lane 5. So there's Cy Bowen on your picture now. So he heads across start-finish line, getting a timing run in. This is a heat where we've got a couple of drivers spread across the qualifying spectrum. Actually, as I'm seeing, we've got one boat in 15th, but we've got the others in about the top 10. So they're about the same level of speed. So it is going to come down to these timing marks in who hits the start the best. As you could see, like we just saw in lane number 2, Scott Garner. He was actually the 13th qualifier, as I mistake my own point. But Craig Melody, though, who was 15th, could have that opportunity in lane number 1 to do what Scott Garner did, who was 13th qualifier, hits a good start, leads 3 laps, and picks up a big 400 points, which Craig needs definitely, because this is his first year in Division 1, and to stay in Division 1, remember, we've got 24 drivers up here, but you've got to be the top 19 in driver points to stay in Division 1. So see how the field gets set up as we're getting ready for the start. Cy Bowen there on the outside. There is the U29 there. He'll be in lane number 3. Craig Melody will have lane number 1. He'll have a great opportunity out of here, but he's got to hit this start well. As they head through turn number 2, there's Cy Bowen. They're already on the outside. Now, the good thing with that that piston-powered boat there out there in lane number 5, he's going to have a chance to really get wound up as he head down to the start-finish line, as we will have Craig Melody leading the way, but here comes Cy Bowen on a charge. As we are 5 seconds to the start, make that 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, mark! And that's going to be a clean start, and Craig Melody came across the line first. But I don't think he's going to hold it going into turn number 1. Actually, he is going to hold it into turn number 1. So a great start by Craig Meldy. Cy Bowen also had a great run, but he's going to be mired back in 5th as we head down the back straightaway. So our number 1 qualifier in trouble here, as up front it's Craig Meldy leading them 4 abreast, heading into turn number 2. He's got Tyler Sams there on his inside, but look from lane number 4. Great run was building by Mekhi Burgess, but he's going to lose out in fallback to 4th. So Tyler Sams there in 2nd, looking to break up the 2nd straight upset as Craig Meldy for now has the lead, but here comes Tyler on the outside in lane number 2 as we start lap number 2. Sams with a lot of boat speed there on the outside, going to draw even with Craig Meldy, but Melody holds on to the spot and will hold the lead spot for now. As they head down the backstretch, heading into turn number 2 in the back, we just saw the U1 jump to the inside. He's going to try to pick up a couple of spots. We will stay with this battle for the lead. Craig Meldy qualified to 15th, trying to pick up his first ever heat win in Division 1. Tyler Sams looking to start his championship battle with 400 points as they're going to be deck to deck heading into turn number 2. Oh, they make contact, and Tyler Sams goes over. Contact between the 95 and the 00, and for the first time tonight, the officials will have to take a look at a crash caused by contact. We'll call it on the water as it is. As Craig Meldy has lead as we start the final lap. Mekhi Burgess in 2nd. 3rd is going to be Harley Gray, and 4th now is Cy Bowen, who has been struggling in that dirty water. As you now have him here in lane number 1, he finds his way into some cleaner water on the inside, gets into lane number 1, and that boat was all but loose. Heading down the back straightaway as Cy looking to pick up a couple of more points, but it looks like Cy Bowen is going to be, unfortunately, he's out there in lane number 5, and that piston power is not going to help him. But as we call it on the water, back up front, U95 Jack Daniels, Craig Meldy comes through turn number 2, heads towards the start-finish line, and he's going to pick up 400 points in the win in Heat 2C provisionally. Craig Meldy is a winner in SNHL D1. And 2nd, so to get this to cooperate, is going to go to Harley Gray, I think, got 2nd. The trolley is going to be 3rd, with Elijah Smith, and 4th will be Cy Bowen. So our defending points champion. A little bit of a struggle there on the outside, and we'll see what the officials have to say about that contact. They're going to say no call, clean heat. So Craig Meldy, take a bow. You are a heat race winner in SNHL Division 1, and we will talk to him in just a moment. So, 2 heats here in the second flight and 2 upsets. This one even more special as Craig Meldy picks up heat win number 1 in SNHL. in SNHL Division 1. Craig, congratulations. Welcome to D1 and welcome to the winner's stand.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So, Craig, you pick up the win there in Heat. You pick up the win here in Heat 2C. You get the inside line by virtue of 15th. Talk us through there in lane number 1 and having all those faster boats to your outside.
Yeah, I was very worried about the boats outside me though. There was a lot of pace out there, especially right out wide with Cy. But yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there with Tyler. I'm not sure if I cut him off or not. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, I tell you.
Yep. So going into the third flight now, you've got your opportunity to get to your first Connie here in Division One, and possibly, depending on how things go in the third flight, will be the final. That third flight will be based on your night, and you might, by virtue of not having such great first heat, might have a chance at the inside lane, depending on how the points go going into the third heat.
Well, that would be amazing. I'll probably need it. So there's some very fast boats in this division. So yeah, I'll give it my best.
All right, Craig, congratulations, and good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Heat 2D coming up next. Heat 2D, final night. Final flight. Final race in the second flight. Heat 2D is underway. Luke Nelson back in his own boat here in the Vulcan. He will be in lane number 4, qualified second. Finished a disappointing 5th in his own ride in Heat 1C, despite getting a win for his buddy Carson. Running the U66 in Heat 1B, so he'll have an opportunity here in lane number 4. As Luke Nelson almost rolled it, hitting into turn 2. The Mopar Jeff DeWalt will be in lane number 1, 160.291, his qualifying speed. Finished 4th in Heat 1B. He's at 199 points. Luke Nelson, he is on 307 points. In lane number 3 will be the Wave Dancer, Derek Demers, who also got career heat win number 1 in the very first heat of the night. He'll be in lane number 3, qualified 7th. He's on 490 points. And in lane number 5 will be DJ Miller. Did not qualify for the event. but was third in Heat 1D, so he's on 225 points. And then Elijah Smith is also drawn into this heat. Sorry, did not see that. He's in lane number 2. Qualified 14th, finished 4th in Heat 1C. He's on 199 points. So, getting ready for Heat 2D, last one in the second flight. And these points are going to go a long way to determining where these racers will be in the third flight, as the points are based on your night. Least amount of points, if you haven't done well, you'll have the inside lane. However, if you've done great in Heat 3A, in the first flights, you'll be to the outside. That can be a help or a hindrance. We've seen faster boats succeed on the outside, and we've seen faster boats struggle on the outside so far. It's going to be even more interesting as these twists and turns go into the third flight. So you're now under a minute from the start. See DJ Miller already making his way to the outside. Derek Demmer is going to pull up next to Elijah Smith. He'll be in lane number 3. And Jeff DeVolt will be in lane number 1. It'll be a feel-good win if he can pull off that heat win in the U-144. Sorry, not the U-144. I'm so sorry. That is Derek Demmer's number. The Mopar is the U-31 as we're getting ready for the start. Jeff DeWalt, a popular competitor here in Division 1, as Elijah Smith makes contact with the 144 and then knocks the U-38 into the inside of the course. That is going to be a penalty on the U-49. Of course, there are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second mark. That is a clean start, and it's going to be Derek Demers who leads the way with Elijah Smith on the inside, but to his outside is Luke Nelson as Demers looks to go 2 for 2. Nelson holding that inside strong and got into the wake, lifted that left side Sponson, manages to hold on to it, but he's going to fall back into third. And DJ Miller there on the outside, he's in the 4th spot. As up front, it's Derek Demers from lane number 3. He is driving away, but Elijah Smith there on the inside, lane number 2, is going to have something to say about it. That incident is still under review. So heading into turn 2 right now, we'll call it as it is on the course, as Elijah Smith for the second time makes contact with someone. This time it's with Derek Demers, and Smith is going to take the lead down the down the front straight as we start lap number 2. Well, there's going to be a lot of conversation in the pits after this as we start lap number 2. Elijah Smith leads the way. Derek Demers in the wave dancer for now is second, but the Vulcan of Luke Nelson has gotten to the inside of Elijah Smith, not to Elijah Smith, to Derek Demers, and now they're going to be side by side heading down the back straightaway. So we'll jump back to that battle for second, Nelson and Demers. Nelson now inches ahead of Demers down the back straightaway. He's going to take the second spot after jumping to the inside of the 144 after he made contact with Elijah Smith and ended up in lane number 3. So through turn number 2, now Elijah Smith continues to lead. Again, we will call it as it is on the water. Second place is Luke Nelson. He would be the one that would benefit the most if there's a serious penalty against Elijah Smith as we start the final lap of the evening. The final lap of Heat 2D. Elijah Smith leads the way in the U49. Second is the Vulcan.com of Luke Nelson, and third is the Wave Dancer, the U144 of Derek Demers. DJ Miller and Jeff DeWalt round out the field. As down the backstretch, Elijah Smith leads the way in that gray primered with the Maryland flag trim U49. Right now, looking to take his first heat win of the year, but there are going to be penalties that will have to be looked at due to that contact both at the start with the U38 and then with the U-144. But off turn 2 for now, it's going to be Elijah Smith leading the field to the checkered flag and the win in Heat 2D. So Elijah Smith will take the win. Second will be the Vulcan. Wave Dancer. Actually, DJ Miller is going to be in third now, because I believe they have applied those penalties to Elijah Smith, which means the winner would be Luke Nelson. And yes, they have assessed a lane violation on Elijah Smith for that contact there at coming to the start. Came out of lane 3 and chopped off the U-38, and then the contact with Derek Demers, and they just applied that second penalty. So it'll be Luke Nelson who takes the win, and we get to talk to him in his own colors next. So Luke Nelson, a winner for the second time tonight, but this time the 400 points go into his own account as he joins us here, the winner of Heat 2D. And Luke, you were there on the outside, but you were running it close the entire time. You saw some of that contact with the U-49. What did you see from your windscreen?
A lot of stuff was going on. Like, I think that was exited turn 2, lap 1. I think the 144 made contact or something. I don't really know. And split out, so I went inside and then just went on from there.
All right, so Luke, you've been running double duty all night, all afternoon. I'm used to doing this at night, so I keep saying all night, but all afternoon you've been running double duty. Has that been a help or a hindrance so far, subbing with the U-66 and running your own boat?
I think it's probably a good thing to get me more practice and more used to Division 1 and get up here with some of the better guys. It gives me some good practice.
Alrighty. Well, Luke, congratulations and good luck in the third flight.
All right, thank you.
Heat 3A coming up next. So we have to update those 2 lane violations on Elijah. Will be upgraded from a 1-minute penalty to a disqualification in that heat. So Elijah Smith will score 0 points in Heat 2D. Lane draws are currently going on for the third flight. We will have we'll have the third flight of heats in just a moment. final round of qualifying heats starts right now. Here are your starters in Heat 3A, and this is what they have to do to get to the winner-take-all heats. Coming up right after this, we will start in lane number 1, the Miss Danash, Francis Ranella, 200 qualified 16th, that's 30 points. Finished third in Heat 1B, that's 225 points. Flipped in Heat 2B, that's 0 points. He's on 255 points going into this third flight. It's going to be an uphill battle for Francis to get into the Connie. He's going to need to win and need a whole lot of help to get there. In fact, his maximum points actually would not get him in. So Francis running for pride here in Heat 3A. In lane number 2, you got DC Presents Def. DJ Miller did not qualify, but 2/3 has him on 450 points. That has him in 13th, just outside a position in the Connie. He could jump up as far as into the final, but he's got to finish in the top 2, and then it depends on what happens with the rest of the racers around him. Craig Meldy, the Jack Daniels, finished 5th in Heat 1A after qualifying 15th. Won Heat 2C. He's on 557 points. That is good enough to be in the Connie. A win should lock him into that Connie, and an outside shot at being on the front line of the final. And Craig's actually on your screen now. In lane number 4 is Mickey Washburn in the Miss Vandalay. Qualified 4th, won Heat 1D, 2nd in Heat 2B. That's 400 plus 300. That gives you 840 points. And Mickey, currently 2nd on the board. He is in the final. A good finish there will lock him in. And in lane number 5, Luke Nelson driving as Carson Kelly in the Sutter's Gold. A 1st and a 2nd in the U66, plus qualifying 3rd, equals 860 points. Luke is actually in a position where he is in the final technically twice. We'll have to confer with the officials on what that would mean for him. But for now, he will start on lane number 5 as we get ready for the final minute. Until Heat 3A, boats with the most points on the outside, boats with the least amount of points on the inside. And we'll see how this all wraps up for the first time. As Francis Ranella makes his way into turn number 2 with 35 seconds to go. DJ Miller, DC Presents Death. In lane number 2 to the outside is that beautiful blue and white boat of Mickey Washburn, the commish. Here in Saturday Night Hydroplane League, as we are ready for the start. Here they come around turn number 2. Again, Francis Ranella slow off the jump. DJ Miller is going to have a great launch through turn number 2 as we get ready to start Heat 3A. Here it comes, though, Mickey Washburn from the outside as we are 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark! And that is a clean start as they head towards turn number 1, and it's Mickey Washburn with the lead, but to his inside is the U75. Mickey's going to fall back to at least 2nd as the Dynasty Dash there on the inside. Something happened to DJ Miller. We lost DJ Miller, not sure what happened there, but we will keep it going with the Vandalay in 2nd. And the Dynasty Danash, Francis Ranella, got a much better start this time. He is leading the way. So turn 1 is under review. Looks like there was contact there. But as we continue, it's Francis Ranella leading. And look at Mickey Washburn pushing that U66 to the outside. And Craig Melly got into the surf. Got out of his lane, jumped back into lane number 2. But now he is far behind in the 4th spot as he get ready to start lap number 2 with Francis Ranella in the Miss Danash 2. Leading the way, but to his outside, there is a hard-charging Miss Vandalay of Mickey Washburn. Gonna lose a little bit of distance through the turn as he's continuing to focus on keeping Luke Nelson to the outside, driving the U66 for Carson Kelly. As down the backstretch they go, the U929 leads the way, but look at the U9 keeping the U66 pinned to the outside, but here comes Carson Kelly. Sorry, not Carson Kelly, Luke Nelson. Knew that was going to happen at some point. He's going to get second spot, and now they're going to put the Vandalay in the tunnel. Heading through turn number 2, you're right along now at Mickey Washburn. He's got water to the right, water to the left. He's stuck in the middle with you as he's charging down the front straightaway, looking for the white flag, as it's going to be a Jay Ayler triple decker heading to the front straightaway as we start the final lap. New leader is Luke Nelson. He's going to pin that U9 tight into turn number 1. Vandalay is in second. Mr. Nash in third as they go through turn number 1, and they're going to be clean through it, as the U9 is going to end up back in the tunnel down the back stretch. Now, Luke Nelson driving the U66 Sutter's Gold for Carson Kelly. Going to pin that U9 to the inside. As Mickey Washburn, though, is going to give plenty of space to the Dynasty Nash on the inside. Will that cost him some points heading into turn 2? We'll find out in a moment. As they head towards turn number 2, Luke Nelson leads the way. Mickey Washburn there in second. It's not going to be enough for Mickey Washburn. He's going to battle the Dynasty to Nash for third. But it's going to be Luke Nelson driving for Carson Kelly in the Sutter's Gold. The U66 wins Heat 3A. Mickey Washburn's going to hold on to second. Dynasty to Nash is going to be third. And fourth will be Craig Meldy. Turn 1 still under review. Let's go back and see what happened there with DJ Miller. So there is DJ. He's on the right of your picture. We're heading into turn number 1. He's going to get out a little bit to arc into the turn. And oh, he just catches the spray off the U929 and rides the Lightning all the way to the outside course markers. And that's going to end the U75's day in the hopes of running in the winner-take-all heats. We'll take another look at it. This time we'll go from above. Now watch that U75. He's going to arc it out after the start. So he goes to the inside. Now he's going to turn out. And he's just trying to carry a lot of boat speed into the turn. And he just catches that wake of the U929 and goes over. From here, looked like an overcorrection. And no, they're going to call a lane infraction. So it's going to be on the U929 for bearing out. We're going to look at this one more time. And yeah, it does look like, now as you look at that, we'll go back and look at it one more time. Watch the Dynasty to Nash. Sorry, the Mr. Nash. And I think what happens, oh yes, the U929 straightens up to not hit the buoy and just comes across and makes contact or gets into the way of the U75 and impedes. And that's what sends that boat over. So, that doesn't change, however, that our winner in Heat 3A is going to be Luke Nelson. And Luke, you are in a unique position here, being our first of the substitute drivers. You've got your buddy's boat in, now you've got to get your own boat in, and then who knows what happens with that with the officials. We'll have to ask them how that works, but you pick up a big win there from the outside, and now you're heading to the final, or at least one spot in the final.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy heat. I knew it was going to be tough being on the outside to try and pull that off, but yeah, I got it, and now I'm in the final for Carson, so that's good.
So now you're in the final for Carson. Now you've got to try to get into the final for yourself. Have the officials discussed what would happen there if you get both those boats in the final?
Yeah. So if I get both of them in, I'm probably just gonna pick the one that's on the inside most lane. It's just better chance.
I see what you've done there. Give me the best chance to win, and damn the points. But congratulations, Luke, and we'll see you in the final in some shape or fashion.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
All right, so we'll go to Heat 3B. We're going to wait to see if there's any challenges. We'll be right back with the second heat. So for the first time this season, we did have a challenge. The U-929, Francis Ranella, challenged the lane infraction disqualification. That vote goes to a straw poll of all competitors and officials. And on a count of 11-9, that penalty was rescinded. And so the Dynasty Nash will keep it. Give me some time to get these votes, but the Mr. Nash will keep the points. So the 929 will keep its third place points. And unfortunately, though, that is not enough to get Francis Ranella into the winner-take-all heat. He is done for the afternoon. So is DJ Miller by virtue of that contact. So we will get ready for Heat 3B. 5 more boats are ready to hit the water. And that action is next. So while we're waiting, I will give you the lane assignments for Heat 3B. Second heat of the third flight. As we get ready to go into the winner-take-all events. In lane number 1 will be Tyler Sams. Qualified 9th, had a third, that's 70 points. Finished third in Heat 1A, that's 225 points. Flipped in Heat 2C, that is 0. He's on 295 points. Sam's in a must-win position. Actually, he's 19th right now. Currently, Max Corvo is 12th with 510 points. It is a must-finish in the top half situation for Tyler Sams if he wants to go into at least the con. Tyler on your screen now as he makes his way out onto the course. Lane number 2, Washburn 3D Race Boats. Callum Washburn qualified 13th on the day. That's 30 points. Finished 4th in Heat 1A. Finished 5th in Heat 2A. He's on 326 points. Callan is 17th. He is in a win and you're in situation. In third will be the Mopar, Jeff DeWalt. Qualified 17th. That's 30 points. 2 fourth places is 169 plus 169. That gives you 368 points, and that gets you lane 3 in this heat. Now Jeff is currently in the 16th spot. A win would get him into the Connie. In lane number 4 is Cy Bowen in the Corsair. Qualified first. That's 200 points. Finished first in 1C, that's 400 points. A disappointing 4th in 2C is 169 points. But he's now at 769 points, and he's in 5th currently. A decent finish. Cy will lock himself into the final. And in lane number 5, it'll be Mackay Burgess in the Trolley Sourbight Crawlers. Qualified 6th, that's 100 points. make sure. Lane number 5. Yep. That's 100 points. Heat 1D. He was second. That's 300 points. 225 points for 2C. He's on 625 points. And Mackay, currently sitting in 9th, a top 2 finish, gets him into the final. So those are your starters. You see lane 4 again is going to be the A&W Root Beer of Scott Garner. He's on 567 points. Just to make sure I got him. And Scott's currently sitting in 11th, so he's in a good spot of possibly getting into the front line of the final. Might be on an outside lane, but he's got a good opportunity here. Is Scott Garner. Cal Washburn making his way up. There are now 40 seconds to the start. There is U38 to the outside as Callan makes his way up. I believe he's in lane number. Make sure I got his lane right. Callan will be in lane number, looks like 2. As they make their way around, as we are ready now for the start. It's going to be Jeff DeWalt who leads them around. But, oh, he got a slow start there. It's going to be Tyler Sams who leads the way in the 00. As we are now 5 seconds from the start. Make that 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark! That's going to be a good start, and we are underway here in Heat 3B. And it's Tyler Sams leading. He's got no one around him as he heads into the corner. So it's Sams on the inside, needing 400 points. He's going to have him here as he heads through turn number 1. And oh, that's Scott Garner upside down. And sorry, I mistakenly said that Cy Bowen is in this heat. Cy Bowen is not in this heat. Cy will be in Heat 3C. So excuse me, Scott Garner was in lane number 4, but now he is upside down and out. But up front, Tyler Sams leads the way. Mackay Burgess is second in the trolley. And Callan Washburn is third with the U38 to his outside. We'll stick with this battle. Best battle on the water right now, as this is the battle for the third spot. Callan has it. Callan has it. DeWalt wants to take it away. They're starting lap number 2 with Washburn there on the outside, out there in lane number 3, pushing that U38 closer out to the buoy row. On the outside of the course, creating a wider arc for that U38 to handle. As Washburn pushes his way through the corner, he's going to hold on to third, and the boats are going to start stretching out now a little bit as they head down the back straightaway on lap 2 of 3. So now it is Washburn consolidating third. Fourth goes to Jeff DeWalt. Scott Garner is going to sit on the water. He is, though, out in 5th, and Tyler Sams is in the lead. The incident with Scott Garner is under review. We will check that out once this heat ends. But right now, it is Tyler Sams leading the way with that beautiful candy apple red bush apple as we start the final lap. Tyler Sams leading the way. Mackay Burgess in second in the trolley. Third is the U44 Washburn 3D race boats. And fourth is the Mopar of Jeff DeWalt in the U31. Already down to the back straightaway is now Tyler Sams. He's pulled away to about a rooster tail and a half between himself and Callan Washburn. Tyler needed a win here to have an opportunity at the winner take all heats, and now he's got it. Heading towards turn number 2. He's got no one around him. 400 points in front as Tyler Sams enters turn number 2. He's got no one around him as he hits the exit pin, heading to the start-finish line. And it's going to be Tyler Sams. He's going to pull off a much-needed win and take the win at Heat 3B in the Bush Apple. Mackay Burgess in the trolley will be second. Callum Washburn is third in the Washburn 3D race boats. Fourth is going to be Jeff DeWalt in the Mopar. Call still under review. And we'll go and see what happened with Scott Garner. So there's Garner there. He's between two boats. He's got the 38 to his way outside. They go into the corner. Ooh, could not see from that angle. So watch the U60. There's U38. Go into the corner. Oh, the U60 actually got into the weight first, and the U38 was already out of shape, it looks like, and then he came across in front of Scott Garner. Let's take a look at Jeff DeWalt's view of it. Oh, he went into the back of Callan. So Jeff DeWalt went up the back of Callan's Roostertail. Now the question is, did Callan come out? Someone's going to have a penalty here, and we're going to see who the officials decide to call it on in just a moment. And looks like they're going to call it on the U31. And DeWalt will have 2 minutes to challenge. We'll see if that challenge is made. And we will sit tight. Actually, we should be able to get Tyler up here. So get 1 moment, and we'll talk to our winner of our Heat 3B, Tyler Sams. So while we wait for a potential challenge with the Mopar, Tyler Sams is here with us now, the winner of Heat 3B. Tyler, you needed that win in the worst way, and you got it. And right now, that should have you in a pretty decent spot to possibly be on the front line of the final once the points get at it.
Hopefully. If not, we'll try our best in the Connie. Really needed that second flight, but had a good race with Craig and ended up biting the Roostertail.
So we go into these winner-take-all heats, and now you've had the first night with the assigned lanes. What's your thought on the racing so far?
It's definitely a lot cleaner. I have enjoyed it so far.
Well, thanks, Tyler, and good luck the rest of the night, and hopefully we'll be seeing you in one of the winner-take-all heats later on.
Hopefully. Thank you, Daryl.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we will wait for Heat 3C. We'll get your lane assignments in just a moment. Jump down real quick. DeWalt has elected not to challenge, so we will get ready for Heat 3C. All right, ultimate qualifying heat of the night, or the afternoon rather, as we go on for Heat 3C. We will go through our lane assignments now, and Max Corvo and the Great White Shark will be in lane 1, qualified 10th, that's 60 points, 2 thirds, that's 225 apiece. He's on 510 points, that is good enough. For Max, he is in position number 14. This is an opportunity to get into not just the Connie, but with a win, he would temporarily be on the front line of the final, depending on how it shakes out with Heat 3D. It's a lot on the line for Max Corvo here in Heat 3C. In lane number 2 will be Neil Dismang in the Dutch Bros, qualified 11th. That's 50 points. Heat 1B finished 2nd. Heat 2B finished 3rd. That's 575 points. Dismang currently sits in position number... Where is he? There he is in number 12, so he's on the outside. Not on the outside, he is on the bump spot when it comes to the Connie now, but has an opportunity to push himself further up the order and potentially into the final with a win. Lane number 3, Harley Gray, qualified 8th, that's 80 points. Finished Heat 1A in 2nd, that's 300 points. 300 points in Heat 2C, that's 680 points. Harley is in 11th, also in a Connie spot. A win would definitely put him on the front line of the final. And now in this heat is Cy Bowen, our number 1 qualifier. That's 200 points, 1 Heat 1C, 4th in Heat 2C. At 769 points, currently sitting in the 6th spot. That is on the outside of those on the front line of the final. A win will confirm the U1 in the final. And Tim Johnson, the U50 Miss Tri-Cities. There's Tim there in the U50. Tim qualified in the 5th spot. That's 120 points. A 2nd in 1C. A 1st in 2A. He's on 820 points. And for Tim Johnson, that is good enough for 4th. All he needs is to finish this heat in a decent position, and he will be on the front line of the final. So 1 minute to go. All the boats starting to congregate there in lane number 2. Tim Johnson making his way through turn number 1. I think he's going to try to hit this with some speed. As we are 35 seconds until the start. He's got to be down there at about 21 seconds to have a shot and make this run on a flyer. We'll ride with him here as he's going to get down here at about 20 seconds. As we are ready for the start, Tim Johnson making his way towards the outside, but up front, Neil Dismang is going to get off the corner first and lead us to the start. Under 8 seconds until the start of Heat 3C. Make that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark! And that's going to be a good start, and it is 4 wide and handsome, heading down towards turn number 1. How does everybody get through that corner? No contact as Harley Gray, though. He's going to push Cy Bowen to the outside. Cy Bowen's going to pick up the 3rd spot. Neil Dismang is going to trump all the way back to 4th, and leading the way is Max Corvo and the Great White Shark. So Corvo, down the back straightaway, he's going to have a couple of fast boats in the U29 and the U1 to his outside, and actually the U1 is going to be in 2nd heading into turn number 1, starting to turn number 2. Here on lap number 1 of 3. There's gonna check the start, make sure that it was clean. It was. So Corvo off turn 2. He's got the lead in the U52 Great White Shark, looking for a win, looking at potentially putting himself in the Connie. As we start lap number 2, the Great White Shark leading the way. Harley Gray and Cy Bono are battling for second, heading into turn number 2. Cy on the outside, Gray on the inside. Gray's gonna push Cy Bono there to the outside. He's got that U1 pinned out there. But Cy's gonna hold on tough, and it should be deck to deck off turn number 2. Sorry, off turn number 1. Heading down the back straightaway, and it is deck to deck as Cy Bowen has picked up second for now. They're side by side down the back straightaway, and Max Corvo singing that U52, singing this in his right mirror, says, "You guys fight. I'm going to go get these 400 points," as he heads through turn number 2. Cy Bowen holding tight to that U29, and now he's going to be able to use that piston power on the outside to pick up about a boat length, maybe 2, and he's going to get second again as we start the final lap. Max Corvo there up front. He's come across. He's got the lead. Second, though, is Cy Bowen, and now, importantly, Cy's going to have overlap. So now that's going to trap Harley Gray in the tunnel. So Gray's got slop to his inside. He's got to wait to his outside. Gets into the slop of the U52. Gets into the wake of the U1. Manages to hold on to it, but Harley Gray's going to pull his foot, go to the outside. He's going to be stuck with third. Cy Bowen should have second. That's going to be more than enough to get him into the final. But Max Corvo in the U52, one of our Canadian competitors, our D2 graduates, looking for his first heat win in Division 1. He will hit the he will hit the exit pin of turn 2. Come down the front straightaway, and Max Corvo in the U52 Great White Shark is a winner in D1. He takes the win in Heat 3C. Harley Gray going to come across in second in the Dream Warrior. Cy Bowen came across in second. Third is going to be Harley Gray in the Dream Warrior. Fourth was Tim Johnson in the U50, and fifth is going to be Neil Dismay. My apologies. So Max Corvo picks up the win. We'll see if he decides to come up. One of our Canadian racers. English is his second language. Let's try to get this back on some boats on the course. But if not, we will go to the points. So we'll go to the spreadsheet, see where the points kick out. We can just set up Heat 3D. Actually, Max is going to jump up. So Max Corvo joins us, our third first-time winner of the evening. Max, welcome to D1, and congratulations on your first Heat win.
Thank you very much, Daryl.
So we're going into, you had your first opportunity now with the assigned lanes. What was your thoughts?
I like that. We drive a assigned lane in GP, so I'm used to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made the difference right tonight.
So at this point, now you're in the 6th spot. You're actually in the outside lane of the front line of the final. Either way, you're going to be in the Connie. It has to feel nice for your first time in Division 1 to be in the winner-take-all heats no matter what happens.
Absolutely. I didn't have much expectation for tonight, but I'm really proud of that first time in D1.
Well, congratulations, Max, and hopefully we'll see you in the front line of the final. If not, we'll see you in the Connie.
Thanks a lot, Daryl.
Heat 3D coming up next. We'll have your lane assignments and what everyone needs to do in just a moment. Heat 3D now, your last shot at getting points, get into the winner-take-all heats. Here are your lane assignments, and this is what they need to do. Elijah Smith, unfortunately, that disqualification in Heat 2D hurt him. He was 14th in qualifying, that's 30 points. 169 points for Heat 1C. And then the disqualification in Heat 2D puts him on 199 points. Elijah Smith will go no further in tonight's running. In lane number 2 is Scott Przybylski. Did not qualify. Ran 4th and 5th in Heat 1D and 2B. He's on 296 points. Scott Przybylski will go no further in tonight's running. In lane 3 is Nick Kish, qualified 18th. That's 30 points, 2 fourth place finishes in 1D and 2A, excuse me. That's 169 points. That is 368 points, and Nick Kish has an outside chance of getting into the Connie, but he has to win. If not, he will not continue on racing this afternoon. Luke Nelson, lane number 4. This is an interesting one. Remember, he is subbing for Carson Kelly. Luke on 707 points. In his own right, he was 2nd. That's 180 points. 5th in Heat 1C, 127. And in 2D, 400 points. That's enough for 707 points. Currently in the Connie, a win, really a top half finish, puts him back in the final. And then it will be decision time on which boat he's going to run. And then we have Derek Demers, who will be in lane number 5. Finished 7th. Qualified 7th. That's 90. Then won Heat 1A for 400 points. Won 2D, that's 300 points. He's on 790 points. That is 8th currently. And if he wins, he's in the final. Second place, second or third, should also be enough to get him in the final as well. So that is your setup here for the last qualifying heat. And you got a couple of drivers that would love to do nothing but play spoiler. One of those is Elijah Smith. Meanwhile, you've got Derek Demers and Luke Nelson still with something to play for. Nelson, at this point, will be in lane number 1, so we may not see his boat come back out the rest of the night. He'll be in Carson Kelly's boat to wrap this up in the final as we get ready for the start, heading through turn number 2. Elijah Smith there on the inside should lead us around. He's got no one to his outside as we get ready for the final qualifying heat of the night. At 5 seconds to go, make that 4, 3, 2, 1, mark! And that's going to be a good start, and we are underway. Derek Demers there in lane number 5. He's got the lead. Will he be able to hold on to it? As we go through turn number 1, he's got the Vulcan to his inside. Demers is going to fall back to second as the Vulcan will get by. And it's going to be Luke Nelson in the U7 with the lead. Elijah Smith currently in first as they're going to be nearly a Jay Ayler triple-decker heading down the back straightaway, with Demers in third, still in a position to make the final. Elijah there in second. He's got lane number 1, so he's got the position by virtue of taking the shorter way around. But Derek Demers on the outside. He is drifting back, but Elijah Smith just got into the wake of the Vulcan.com of Luke Nelson. That could be an issue for him, as we will stay with this battle for second as we start lap number 2. Up front is the Vulcan leading the way. Elijah Smith second in the U49. The U144 Wave Dancer is third as Elijah heads into turn number 1. He's going to hold on to that second spot as Demers doesn't look like that boat is handling that third lane very well. But right now, the good spot is those points should be enough to get him into the final. But up front, Luke Nelson, the U7Vulcan.com, currently in the 11th spot. A win would get him into the final, but I don't know. Well, I don't think he will jump what he's done in the U66. So he will probably take that lane 1 spot as Luke comes down the front straightaway to get the white flag. One more lap to go here in Guntersville as Nelson lifted that right side sponson up a ways. He managed to bring it back down. He's got the lead. Elijah Smith holds on to second. Third is Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer. And fourth is Nick Kish in Easton Eagle. And Scott Przybilski fifth in the Mr. Pringles. Back up the back straightaway now. Luke Nelson's got no one around him. He's going to bring this thing home to 400 points. Overall, third heat win of the night, of the afternoon. A productive day for Luke Nelson in the Vulcan. His U7 will go on the trailer, head on to Madison. We'll see Luke climb into the U66 to get ready for the final, where he will be in lane number 1. But it's going to be Luke Nelson, the U7, Vulcan.com, off turn number 2. Will come to the start-finish line and take the win in Heat 3D. Elijah Smith is going to be second. Third is going to be Derek Demers. Fourth will be Scott Przybilski. And fifth, I believe, is going to be Nick Kish, who actually had a lane violation. So he will stay there in fifth. So qualifying is complete. Winner take all heats are next. After this, it'll be the Consolation to decide who will be the trailer boat, and then the winner take all final. We will hear from Luke Nelson in a moment. His boats come back in, and we will line up who will be in our final races of the afternoon. So Luke Nelson joins us here in the booth after winning Heat 3D. Luke, I think that extra time on the water helped you out there. Third heat win of the night. You put your boat now in the final, but I'm assuming you're going to take that lane 1 spot with the U66.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a pretty wild turn 1. I'm not really sure what happened there, but we made it through and took the win.
So you get into the final for the first time. Get 2 boats into the final, so that'll be on our bingo card for trivia during the off season. But you had a lot of time with this format. Now you go into the final. You'll get that inside lane. What are your thoughts going into the first winner-take-all final of the season?
Probably just hit my marks and hold my lane, and yeah, go as fast as I can.
All right, Luke, congratulations and good luck in the final.
All right, thank you.
So, here are the final 12 that we'll see in action. We'll start with the Consolation Heat. Carson Kelly, Mickey Washburn, Carson being substituted by Luke Nelson. Luke is there, but he will withdraw the U7, and that'll have some interesting consequences in a moment. Cy Bowen will be in lane 4. Derek Demers 5 and Tim Johnson lane number 6. That's how it would set up. But with Nelson parking the 7, that should move everybody up a lane. So Bowen will be in 3, Demers will be in 4, Tim Johnson will be in 5, and Mekhi Burgess would end up in the final. That means your Connie, which we should see in a moment, should be Max Corvo, Harley Gray, Scott Garner, Craig Melody, Neil Dismang, and Tyler Sams, who was just knocked out in Heat 3D, but will get back in by Luke Nelson's withdrawal. I'll check that with the officials, And we'll get running with the Connie and the final after this. Okay, so we've gotten some clarifications, and Luke Nelson has been giving some very important clarifications on how this process works now with the sub driver. Luke declared his points for the U7 tonight. If he had decided to drive the U66, he would have lost all his points in the driver standings for this event, which right now is 1,107. That is significant going into a 7-race championship where you need to lock your spot in by being in the top 19. So Luke is going to drive his boat. The U66, which will still be in the race, will now be driven by Nick Kish in the final in lane number 1. That means that Tyler Sams will not be in the Connie, and Mekhi Burgess will not be on the front line of the final. He will have to race his way into the Connie. So your front line of the final will be Nick Kish driving in place of Carson Kelly, Mickey Washburn in 2, Carson Kelly will be in 1, Luke Nelson will be in 3, Cy Bowen will be in 4, Derek Demers in lane 5, Tim Johnson in lane 6. In the Connie, it will be Mekhi Burgess in 1, Max Corvo in 2, Harley Gray will be in 3, Scott Garner in 4, Craig Meldy in 5, and Neil Dismang in lane 6. That is your setup, and the winner-take-all heats are coming up in just a moment. That minutia, now we get down into the business of racing. 4 minutes here in the first of 2 winner-take-all heats. See, there's Harley Gray making his way out onto the water. As we said, Gray will be in lane number 3. There's Scott Garner behind him. Garner will be next to him in 4. And everybody's got their own little ways of getting to the course here. Some are going fast, others slow. It's 7-mile-per-hour winds right now, as the winds have picked up during the day. And now Garner going to make his way out onto the water. Here you are with the Dutch Bros, Neil Dismang. There's Craig Meldy, one of our first-timers here in Division 2. He's going to be in the Connie. And there's Scott Garner making his way around. As we're now 2:25 away from the start. The Connies disappeared in the interest of time last year. This year they're back with points and with this new format to keep down any of the extracurriculars that we've seen in Connie's past. We should have a wonderful race as Harley Gray makes his way through turn number 2. Sorry, down the front stretch. He's going to cut the course from back to front using GP turn number 1. You got one boat there sitting next to him. I can't see. Oh, that's the trolley of Mekhi Burgess. It's hard to see from that rear angle, and he will get set up. As a lot of the drivers still choosing to start and park, or to park and start, whichever way you want to put it. As Mekhi Burgess heads down the front stretch. Sorry, down the back stretch, getting ready to hit up turn number 2, that entrance pin. He's going to come down to the last straightaway buoy before the entrance pin for turn number 2. And Mekhi, he's going to have the best shot at this. He's going to be in lane number 1. Craig Meldy cuts the course as well, back to front using GP turn number 1. And Craig makes his way up the back straightaway in this beautiful U95 Jack Daniels. I just noticed the Decepticon logo there on the inside. So you're now within 45 seconds. Craig will be on the outside. Remember, he will be in lane number 5. So he has really got to get a good run at this. Up front, Mekhi Burgess in lane number 1. And they're up here a little bit earlier than I anticipated. There's Max Corvo. He's going to be in lane number 3. Yes, here come the boats around turn number 2. We are ready for the start. And it's going to be the U60 to lead them around. That is Scott Garner who got the lead. They're a little bit early, though, coming off turn number 2. Now they'll put their foot in it as we are 7 seconds from the start. Make that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And that start is going to be under review. We may have had a jumper, but we'll call it as it is on the water, and that is Max Corvo leading the way with the trolley in second, and the start was clean. So that is a clean start, and we will call it as it is on the water. And right now it's Max Corvo and Mackay Burgess in the catbird seat battling for the right to be the trailer boat in the final. Corvo on the outside, Burgess on the inside. Burgess makes his way into turn number 2. On the inside line, he's going to take the lead away. But Corvo with that piston power is going to have it wound up on the outside as they exit turn number 2 and down the front straightaway for the first of 3. Max Corvo on the outside. On the inside is Mackay Burgess as they come to the start-finish line. It's going to be Mackay leading it by half a boat length as they make their way towards turn number 1. The trolley leading the Great White Shark into the turn. And it's going to be Corvo who loses about a boat length into turn number 1. And he's going to maintain that deficit through the exit. Now it's about getting that piston power all wound up. And you're not just trying to draw even. You want to pull ahead of this U-38 because then you can dictate the arc, and trap him on the buoy row. But it's going to be that U-38 that leads, and he'll be able to push that U-52 out through the corner as we head through turn number 2 and hit the exit pin. Looking for the white flag. It's the 38 leading. The 52 wants to take it away. As it's Mackay Burgess in the trolley, Sour Bright Crawlers leading the way as we start the final lap. Max Corvo in the Great White Shark is second. Scott Garner hopes something happens to those boats because he will inherit the lead. Harley Gray, Neil Disman, Craig Meldy round out positions 4 through 6. But back up front, it's Mackay Burgess holding on. He's got a right side mirror full of the Great White Shark. Down the back straightaway, Burgess making that boat fly across this Lake Guntersville water, the fastest water on the south, living up to its name, as Burgess is going to get to turn number 2 first. And Corvo was really holding on. And they make contact. Corvo's going to go to the outside. That'll be under review. As Corvo tried to pin that 38 there on the inside, but it's going to be Mackay Burgess off turn number 2. Comes down to take the win in the Connie. And he should be on the trailer boat on the final. Max Corvo will be second. Scott Garner will be third. It'll be Neil Disman comes across. And Craig Melly. We're missing 4th place. It's going to be Harley Gray. As Corvo heads back to the pits. So now, just going to check with the refs to make sure that heat was clean. And we will get ready for the winner take all final here in Guntersville. For the first time this season, it is time for a winner-take-all final. Here are your lane assignments. Carson Kelly will be substituted by Luke Nelson at the start and will now be substituted by Nick Kish. Is in lane 1. Mickey Washburn will be in lane 2. Kelly has 1,260 points to go to his leisure. Mickey Washburn, 1,140. Luke Nelson on your screen right now is 1,107 points. He will be in lane number 3. Cy Bowen, if he wants to win the first race of the year, he will have to do that from lane number 4. Derek Demers will be in lane number 5 at 1,115 points. What a story it would be for him to pick up a win in his first start in Division 2. And Tim Johnson will be in lane number 6. And the trolley, the U38 and Mackay Burgess, will beat the trailer and will start 5 seconds behind the field. Now, why is this a big deal with Cy Bowen? If Cy Bowen does not win, that will be the first race since the SNHL World Championship in Chelan back in February that has not been won by Cy Bowen, who was in the U17 Rockbot at the time. As Cy won 5 of the 8 last season. Started off with a win in Miami at the Montwork Sparkplug Regatta and took the win in the Southern Cup last season on this 2.5 mile, on a different version of the 2.5 mile course, the more modern version that they ran this season. But this year we are on the 2018-2022 version of the course, which makes the corners a little bit wider, but the straightaways are a lot longer, which builds up the speed. As you see for the first time this season, boats coming to the entrance pin of turn number 2. Mickey Washburn there in lane number 2. There's Nick Kish and Carson Kelly's U68-6 Sutter's Gold in lane number 1. As we come around turn number 2, we've got 5 boats coming to attention. Let's turn them loose in the SNHL Southern Cup. As Mickey Washburn gets a little bit off kilter through his turn. So you're now 10 seconds to the start. Make that 9. We're gonna make that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And that start is gonna be under review. I believe we may have had some jumpers. We'll call it as it is on the water. And right now it's Cy Bowen in the lead. And Nick Kish is over and out. Kish managed to land that, but it's Bowen in the Corsair leading, and he's got an advantage over the boats to the inside of him as we go down the back straightaway. All boats were illegal. We will call it as it is on the water. As we make our way down towards turn number 2, with Cy Bowen leading the way. Gonna fix this camera really quick and then get back onto the action. As through turn number 2, Cy Bowen with the lead. It's got to his inside the Vulcan of Luke Nelson and the Vandalay. The U9 of Mickey Washburn. Nick Kish able to drive that boat off the water. He is out of the race. But as we start lap number 2 of 5, it is leading the way. Nick Kish, sorry, not Nick Kish, Cy Bowen in lap number 2 of 5, but to his inside continues to sit the U9. and the U7. The Vulcan.com is close to the side of that U1, riding on that skid fin spray. The U9 is dropped back now by Roostertail. He is in third, as now the U1 is going to force everybody over. Is going to keep those lanes tight as the Vulcan tries to keep that door open. And Luke Nelson's going to stay right in there. They'll draw deck to deck off turn number 2, but it's going to be Cy Bowen for now, holding on to the lead. They're in the the piston powered now U1 Corsair, and now he's starting to get some distance, make that 4 volt lengths between the U7 and the U1. No call yet on what happened there with the U66, but it's Cy Bowen on the inside. He's going to have that challenge by the U7 there, as Luke Nelson tried to slip up through the inside but could not stay there. And that U1, that piston power, that boat keeps more RPM, keeps the speed up. That U1, though, better in the corners with the lighter weight. So it is a perfect battle here between these U7 and U7, showing the strengths of each of these power plants. As now the U7 threw it deep into turn number 2, and looks like Luke's going to hold on to it for now, but it'll be deck to deck down the front straightaway as we start the championship laps. With Cy Bowen leading in the Corsair, the U7 Vulcan is second, with Luke Nelson holding there tight on the inside. He's going to have the inside line, as Cy Bowen now is going to tighten that lane up, but he's going to give a little bit of room to Luke Nelson, and now Luke's going to be able to pull deck to deck again. And now Luke's going to pull ahead on the exit of the corner, but it's Cy with the superior boat speed on the outside. He's going to hold on to it, but they are so close together this time, and lap traffic may be a factor here. There was a boat in front of these two as we head into turn number 2. Didn't see who it was, but it's going to be the U7 stretching into the inside. He's going to get the lead, and now it's going to be a new leader here at Guntersville. It's Luke Nelson taking the top spot as we head down the front straightaway. White flag in the air. Luke Nelson returning to Division 1 after a long absence. Won his way back into Division 1 by being one of the 5 fastest in Division 2, and now he's looking to take home the win in the Guntersville Southern Cup. Now Nelson on the inside, able to push Cy Bowen out wider. That's going to give him about a 2 boat length advantage. But the U1 is holding tough on the outside of that piston power. It's going to be a drag race down to turn number 2. Luke Nelson has the spot. Cy Bowen, if he wants any chance in this, he's going to have to pull even, and he's not going to be able to do it. Luke Nelson into turn number 2 with the lead. Can he hold on? Cy Bowen's not going to be close enough to challenge. It'll be one more valiant effort by the U1, but it's going to be Luke Nelson in the U7 Vulcan.com takes the win in the SNHL Southern Cup. Cy Bowen gave it a ride, but have to sell for second. Mickey Washburn will be third. Fourth is going to be Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer. Fifth will be Tim Johnson. And Makai Burgess will come across for sixth in the U38 trolley. We will wait for any calls, and then we will have a conversation with our podium in just a moment.
Nothing.
We'll start our podium interviews with the winner, Luke Nelson. Gets up here first. Luke, congratulations. Welcome back to Division 1. And you make your return with a big win in the Southern Cup. That was a fun race to watch from here, you and Cy Bowen battling for all 5 laps. How did it feel in the cockpit?
That was crazy. I knew Cy was gonna be really fast on the outside. I had to push the whole way. It was a really good race and it was really fun.
So you had the opportunity. You had twice the amount of races of anyone tonight, subbing for the U66 and your own boat. How did that help in learning this format tonight?
Honestly, it just gave me a bunch of practice to get me used to the new assigned lanes. I like the assigned lanes so far. I think they're pretty good.
Well, congratulations, Luke, and good luck in Madison.
All right, thank you.
So that's Luke Nelson, the winner of the Southern Cup tonight. A close but no cigar for Cy Bowen. However, a great points night for the U1 Corsair. Cy, it was a great points night for you, and you pick up second place. Talk about your afternoon.
It wasn't too bad. We got stuck on the outside most of the night, but that final, I just left Luke a little bit too much racing room in the corners, and allowed him to get up right next to me. And once we were deck to deck, it was kind of inside boat advantage. So it is what it is this time.
Yeah, but being the number 1 qualifier, you did get stuck on the outside there, but you did make it work in that third flight. Any thoughts on changes to boat setup or anything going forward, knowing that could be a possibility going forward?
Probably just some actual timing marks for the future races, one where we can actually get some more speed going to the line. We tried it in the second flight, and I was still late, so just some more practice there, and then we should be all good.
All right, Cy, congratulations, and good luck in Madison.
Thank you.
And next up, our third place finisher, Mickey Washburn, the commish in the Miss Vandalay. Mickey, I'd say that's a pretty successful outing. The assigned lanes were a hit, and you end the night on the podium.
Yeah, I'll take that. D1, we got a lot of fast guys, and one mistake could keep you out of this final heat. So I will take a third place, and those 2 guys drove around me, and they deserve it. They're super fast, and I couldn't keep up, and the door was closing in there on the second lap, so I bailed out and let them go for it.
And now we head into Madison next, and we know how difficult that turn 1 is. Do you try to finagle it to get in the lane number 2? Because that'll probably be the preferred lane going forward in Madison.
Yeah, lane 1's tough in Madison, and if you're not leading going down into turn 1, you're not going to have a good night in lane 1. So yeah, 2 or 3, I think, is the spot you want to be there.
All right, well, good luck in Madison, and congratulations.
Thanks, Daryl, and once again, thanks for doing this for us. You're awesome.
Of course. Thank you. So that is the end of the night. Luke Nelson will lead the championship going into Madison with 1,507 points. Cy Bowen is only 138 points back. Mickey Washburn, 142 back. Derek Demers, 323 back. And Tim Johnson, 391 points back. That is your top 5. Next time out, join us Saturday, October 11th, 2025 for the SNHL Indiana Governor's Cup from Madison, Indiana. We take on the 2.5-mile course on the Ohio River, one of the roughest waters of the season. You don't want to miss that. We'll start the stream at 6:30 with racing to follow at 7. I want to thank all of you for watching tonight for the first race of the 2025-2026 season. The winner is Luke Nelson. We will see you all in Madison for the Indiana Governor's Cup. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you next time.